Washington says Israel has agreed to a U.S. proposed ceasefire in Gaza. Hamas officials say it does not meet their demands, but they are reviewing the plan, which is also backed by Egypt and Qatar. It was presented by the U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and reportedly includes a 60-day ceasefire, the return of the remaining hostages, and an influx of aid into Gaza. The previous truce broke down in March. Israel wants Hamas to be disarmed and dismantled. The militants want Israel to withdraw all of its troops from the territory. Let's get more from our correspondent Tanya Kramer in Jerusalem. Tanya, what does the ceasefire proposal contain, and how likely is it that Hamas will actually accept it?
Well, there is a document circling in the media that reportedly, contains the outline of this framework, this new framework that was presented by U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. And as you said, it contains a 60-day ceasefire, the release of at least 10 living hostages, as well as the return of 18 bodies of those that have died in captivity, as well as the entrance of aid, the release of Palestinian prisoners, and to some extent the redeployment of the Israeli army to certain points in Gaza. But it also says, and this is quite similar to the previous ceasefire and hostage agreement from January, that both parties would have to then negotiate towards a permanent ceasefire. And we all remember this has been one of the main sticking points, a key demand by Hamas, that a new ceasefire deal should also include the end of the war. Now, what is happening now? Both sides have received this proposal. As far as we understand, Hamas has said they have received it. We heard from a senior Hamas official late last night saying that it doesn't respond to the key demands as they put it, but that the leadership is still studying it and that they would give their response soon. At the same time, it also has to go, of course, still through the Israeli cabinet. And I think it all depends now on how much pressure will be put on both sides to agree to this deal that is there on the table.
Meanwhile, Tanya, there have also been more chaotic scenes in Gaza during aid distribution. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, we heard throughout the week from the United Nations and many of the international aid organizations working in Gaza that this new mechanism by this private firm that has these now 3 distribution centers that are only in the south and that are secured by the Israeli military, that this is not adequate to bring aid to the people. It's also, people have to walk long ways. It's also very dangerous to them. We've seen those scenes during the week, and also, it just doesn't bring the aid to the people as it is in humanitarian principles. So all of this is happening in the south, and the big question is also how those aid packages would even come to the north. At the same time, the UN has brought in more flour. This is mainly distributed to bakeries, but also there we are seeing long queues, large numbers of people trying to get their hands on food. And I've been talking to people over the past days in Gaza City. They say they have been living on lentils, most of them getting it from soup kitchens, but they get 1 meal a day. And it's just simply not enough for the needs of a population of over 2 million people in Gaza after over 600 days of war, because we should not forget, it is also, all this is happening while a major offensive is taking place in Gaza. So, the United Nations and other organizations have warned that, this situation is not sustainable like this, and that people are at the brink of famine.
We'll leave it there for the moment. DW's Tanya Kramer in Jerusalem. Thanks so much.